Big controversy as DMK promises no CA implementation, no UCC rollout in manifesto. BJP hits out.
गाड़ी में डर कर दिया भाई, मेरे दोनों को मार दिया, पीयूष और आयुष और अन्नी को मार दिया.
Over Badaयूं horror, 2 minors brutally murdered, 1 critically injured in Uttar Pradesh's Badaयूं, accused killed in police encounter. Shock continues and politics as well. Opposition targets Yogi government. BJP says don't politicize. Union Minister Shobha Karandalaje issues apology after backlash over Tamilian's remarks. Stalin admits demands action. Muslim groups write to Election Commission to reschedule polling dates, claim inconvenience to Muslim voters. Prime Minister dials Ukraine President Zelensky and reiterates India's commitment to do everything within its means to support a peaceful solution. Good evening and welcome, friends, to this Wednesday edition of Burning Question Tonight. An interesting development, friends, that can't be missed. It's the season of political parties making promises through their manifestos, because we have elections, of course. The ruling party in Tamil Nadu, Dravida Munnetra Kadagam, DMK, has released one today. I had to go through the contents twice and thrice to get the real import. The party wants to amend the Constitution of India in a manner that would make it unrecognizable from the way it was envisioned by the fathers of the Constitution. It talks of removing articles like 356, 361 and 321, some of the key provisions which help not only bring cohesion between the centre and the states, but also act like binding glue between the Union of India and its federating units, guarding India's territorial integrity. DMK wants to chip at those building blocks, or so it seems. It would be dangerous had it not been the fancy of one regional party in one state of the country we call Bharat. Let's look at some of the fancy promises made by DMK in its manifesto through this package, and I come back to discuss.
As the Lok Sabha poll battle nears, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has released his party's manifesto. From removing national education policy to banning NEET, and to elevating the status of Tamil as the official language and rolling back UCC and CAA, NT partner DMK's controversial manifesto for the Lok Sabha elections has raised eyebrows. While Stalin heaped praise on his sister Kanimoi for drafting the manifesto, the poll pitch has ensued a war of words. The BJP is calling the manifesto an anti-Bharat rhetoric.
स्टेट लैंग्वेज लिस्ट में तमिल भी है, 22 भाषा ऐसा लिस्ट में है, तमिल भी है, चिंता का विषय नहीं है. कब चुनाव आता है हमेशा भाषा विषय पकड़ करके वोट इकट्ठा करने के लिए डीएमके हमेशा कोशिश करता है.
Even the Congress has now tried to distance from the controversial manifesto.
DMK in its manifesto, which may be appreciated as far as CA is concerned, Citizenship Amendment Act and Uniform Civil Code, all these issues are controversial issues, and most of the opposition parties have been opposing both the issues. As far as Pondicherry is concerned, if there is any statehood is given to Pondicherry, what is wrong in it?
But the left is rallying behind the poll pitch.
Raise several issues which need to be addressed. And India, that is Bharat Union of States, then what happens to the rights, powers of the state governments? For instance, they have demanded so much CAA. Why at the time of elections the government is in hurry to notify and frame rules? They could have waited for the new Lok Sabha to come in.
As we approach the highly anticipated Lok Sabha polls, is this manifesto yet another attempt at appeasement politics? That is the burning question.
All right, welcome back. We have an all-South panel of senior journalist Prakash M. Swami leans towards the right and the BJP. We also have Chandan Gowda, professor of the Institute of Social and Economic Studies from Bengaluru. And we also have Pulla Rao, political analyst, leans towards the DMK. So I would want to begin with you, Pulla Rao. I was a little taken aback with the kind of manifesto that the DMK has come out. Do you find yourself in agreement with this document? And if yes, how much, really?
There's nothing wrong. They've raised issues which they want. What is the manifesto for? Should there be a common manifesto?
I see separatism, just to add. I see separatism. It is smacks of separatism. You are saying there is nothing wrong?
Hardly. I don't think so. If you have gone through the manifestos of the DK, the precursor of DMK, or the DMK for the last 70 years, there's nothing new. You're giving it greater scrutiny. You're giving it greater invention. You're giving it a new interpretation. Therefore, it looks like that, maybe in a different context. All these things which they mention in the manifesto were there for the last 70 years on Hindi and other things and powers of states. And secondly, the CAA is a recent addition to our law. They have a right to comment. They have a right to be, they used to be taken into consideration. They have a peculiar state composition of their population. They have to address that. Everyone cannot come forward with a union, with a one single.
How peculiar is the composition of the state, say vis-a-vis a Maharashtra or a Bihar or a Bengal or a Punjab, Pulla Rao, if I could ask?
No, there is.
That it says that you remove all toll gates from national highways. National highways are national assets.
No, there are peculiar population compositions in different states. What concerns Bengal, Assam, doesn't concern Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. You didn't see people in Madhya Pradesh asking for a national register of citizens or elsewhere. Each state has its own problems. Maybe because of the language, maybe because of the fact it's a separate state. And therefore, their voice, what they felt, will win
what
the
has
votes,
toll booths on national highways to do with the language issue? Pulla Rao, for God's sake, are you connecting the dots properly? You know, national highways, it's what has language, religion, gender, etc. got to do with national highways? Toll booths provide the sustenance for good national highways, and you need those fantastic highways to grease your economy, right?
No, you need highways, you need infrastructure in proportion to your need. You don't need voodoo economics to overbuild something. Go to China and see. You know, if you want to go into economics, we have different economics.
National highways are voodoo economics? Pulla Rao, did you say national highways are voodoo economics?
It is voodoo economics when you go on building things which are not needed. I'm distracting the issue maybe, but all I say is that different issues come up at different times. And the DMK probably felt that these issues will find resonance with the people. That's the immediate need for them
Chandan
is to win the election.
Chandan Gowda, you know, you are at an institute which studies both social and economic change. Would you agree with Pulla Rao that national highways are voodoo economics?
Abhishek, I remember this was not a new issue. Even 3 years ago, 3 years ago, they closed down several national toll booths because they were in violation of a rule. I can't claim to know this very well, that within 10 kilometers of a municipality, you can't have a toll booth. And so there were many number of toll booths. So there's something going on there. And if you remember in the manifesto, they explicitly say there's enormous corruption being practiced at the national toll booth. So we need to look into what precisely is bothering them about the national toll booths. And I can't claim to know any more than just this much at this point.
May I just add a sentence?
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, please, Pulla Rao, go ahead because I have to discuss some more important aspects of this manifesto, which I find little imbued with separatism.
No, let me add one sentence. As far as what the highways are doing is, they're charging huge tolls in some states and building all kinds of infrastructure disproportionate to the population in some states. They have number of toll booths. They just extract the money. Nobody can question them. And then they take this. And where are they building highway? Where are they building other super infrastructures? Like, shall I name the states and get into a very rancid argument? That's why I say it's voodoo economics. Voodoo economics was, it was decided long ago by in the
Prakash
US,
Swami.
that was economics.
See, first of all, DMK is not
Prakash
a
Swami,
national party.
do you see dichotomy?
comment on
Do you
national
see,
issues.
Prakash Swami, listen to my question first, then you answer to Pulla Rao and Chandan Gowda.
Sorry.
Do you see a dichotomy that the manifesto says they will scrap CAA rules which provide citizenship to persecuted minorities, in the same breath says that Sri Lankan Tamils persecuted in Sri Lanka coming to India should be granted citizenship. There is in fact an assembly resolution in Tamil Nadu with the same DMK government seeking the same thing, right?
Okay. First of all, DMK is not a national party to comment on national issues like CIA and Uniform Civil Code. We want to clarify whether this is an NDA or, if NDA comments something, that's understandable. Or if the Congress comments something, is understandable. But DMK is contesting in 21 seats out of 500 plus. Remember, 21. In 21, you want the entire country to be changed. And whether you're sure that the Congress is going to support you in all these measures. Okay, let me ask you a question. You are part of the Congress government led by Sonia Gandhi for 10 years. Why didn't you remove the governor post? Why didn't you remove the Hindi imposition? What were we doing when you're part of Manmohan Singh government? And you're talking about tolls. T.R. Balu was the transport minister in NDA Vajpayee government. Did he not agree to it? See, just because you are in a state, running a state, and you are now worried about the drug scandal casting a shadow on the coming elections, they are talking about who prevented you from reducing the petrol price. Do you want central government to come and tell you, reduce 200 rupees in petrol price? See, you people are not fools. People are no
That's
longer
voodoo
idiots.
economics. That's
They can
actually
see
voodoo
two
economics,
things.
not national
They
highways,
see two
Pulla Rao.
things.
Promising
No,
petrol
they
and
see
diesel
two
for
things.
65 rupees is voodoo economics, not national highways that contribute to
Correct.
India's growth and prosperity. But Pulla Rao,
And DMK came
Prakash
to
Swami, let me
power
take it. Let
by
me
false
take it to more substantive parts of the manifesto, Prakash Swami. And Pulla Rao needs to be grilled a bit if he's really supporting these. Pulla Rao,
No, the DMK is always an
Thirukural
anti-national,
is a sacred text.
anti-national
The
separatist
DMK
party.
says that Thirukural should be made a national book. Prakash Swami, hold on.
That is
Yeah,
because
of course,
Modi
it
is
is a regional
supporting
party, but it
Thirukural.
can have national aspirations, no problem. It's a
nothing
political
wrong.
party which is integral to Indian politics. If they have national ambition, why not? No problem with that. But then what they are promising is something which is disturbing, and that's why we are discussing this. So Thirukural,
promising
which is a
1,000
sacred
rupees to
Tamil
women
text,
all over
should be a
India.
national book, no
Remember.
problem. Absolutely.
1,000
But the same
rupees to
DMK,
women all
Prakash
over
Swami,
India.
let me complete.
DMK
Pulla
is
Rao,
not contesting
I
beyond
want
Tamil
Pulla Rao
Nadu.
on screen. I want Pulla Rao on screen.
Beyond Tamil Nadu, they are not contesting.
I want Pulla Rao on.
Yeah, one
Okay,
second.
Pulla
One
Rao.
second.
Yes.
Can you see me? One second.
Upside down.
I can see you, but you're flipped. I think, yes, you have to flip. You have to flip. You have to flip right. Flip, yes,
Okay.
now better. Yes, you're fine. Pulla Rao, the question is, Thirukural is a sacred Tamil text. And the manifesto says it should be a national book. Granted, obviously it should be. But then, this is the same DMK which does not agree that Bhagavad Gita should be a national book. Whenever there is a demand, and there have been demands for Bhagavad Gita to be declared a national book, the DMK has been on the other side of the argument. So obviously there are double standards. Similarly, you are talking about removing national education policy. You only want Tamil education policy. You are talking about a Supreme Court bench in Chennai. I mean, what kind of soft separatism is this manifesto really talking about, Pulla Rao? Full of dichotomies, full of anachronisms, full of double standards.
Okay. I appreciate it. Tirukural is not a religious book. It's a philosophical book. It's like the old ancient Chinese books,
I said
Confucius, other
sacred
things.
text, yeah.
Yeah, it's a text. It doesn't connote for any religion. There's a lot of wisdom in it. I think the Prime Minister has
Tirukkural
quoted
talks
many
about
times
one
from
religion, which
Tirukkural.
is Hinduism.
So there's no problem. You can have, that is their view. What I'm trying to say is, why should you have one view? You don't like it, don't vote for them. Oust them. That is their view. And they have mentioned other things. I think you should welcome it when they say they want it in a national thing. This shows their faith in the government of India, in a country called India, in the unity of India. They didn't say we want it exclusively here. I think you should welcome it when they've given it to the national table. All the other
No,
points.
they are saying, there is a problem, Chandan Gowda. There is a problem, Chandan Gowda, and let me elucidate on it. Let me sort of articulate it. Then you tell me whether you agree or not. It is couching soft separatism in legalese. They're trying to sound it innocuous, but it is not. For example, it says that abolish the office of the governor. It says abolish Article 321. It says abolish Article 356. Now, if you read these together, the three articles, the office of the governor, the Article 356, which allows for president's rule, and then Article 321, which talks about the jurisdiction of the Union Public Service Commission. It weakens the Union of India as we know it, Chandan Gowda. It can directly have consequences for India's territorial integrity and sovereignty, Chandan Gowda. This is dangerous, Chandan Gowda.
I would agree with you if they had asked for a separate army of their own. But really, if you think about it, what they're saying about the governor's matter is that the governor should be appointed in consultation with the chief ministers. They're not saying abolish the office of the governor. I read the manifesto.
Till the office of the governor is abolished.
No, I think they say they should be appointed in consultation with the state governments. I remember that sentence clearly. But on the question of the cancelling the article that allows for president's rule to dismiss a duly elected state government, that's again an important thing to discuss. Abhishek, I think that what this manifesto has done is very loudly put forward a few contentious issues that have been building up over the years. I don't think these are directed at just the current government. It is a response to how the office of the governor has been abused over time and how the president's rule can actually be an instrument for doing other kinds of things, right? It can violate the spirit of the constitution. And I really don't think anything being proposed here is separatist, Abhishek, because if you recall, the manifesto begins by saying...
Are you suggesting there is an overhang of the recent standoff that has happened between the incumbent governor and the chief minister on the
also
manifesto?
In Kerala? And we've seen it happen across the country at different points in time. The governor is a tool of, who can intervene to create tensions. So it's not a non-conflictual relationship. More often than not, the central government uses the office of the governor to interfere in the state.
Prakash Swami, you agree with that? That the standoff between the incumbent governor and the chief minister could have led to these kind of provisions coming in the manifesto, these kind of promises coming in the manifesto, Prakash Swami?
See, there is a running feud between Tamil Nadu governor and the Tamil Nadu government. We all know that. But the Tamil Nadu governor insists on some probity. For example, yesterday he refused to sworn in Ponmudi as a minister, though Chief Minister's office wrote a letter, because he is not cleared. The conviction is only state. So they want a governor to act like a dog, like a pet animal, to do whatever they want to do. They were doing it when they were in power. They were treating the governors like a pet dogs. Now things are changing. It's no longer your Sonia Gandhi government in the center. It's a duly elected government in the center. Now you cannot play things with the governor. Now they're used to playing things with governor, kind of twisting the arms of the governor. There was a governor called Surjit Singh Barnala who will sign any papers of DMK government without questioning. They only want a governor who is submissive, who will toe the line. For example, how many promises did the DMK give in 2021 assembly elections are fulfilled? Did you give complete support to all the women? You're choosing the women in giving dole. You're choosing the women in allowing them in a free bus. You're talking of prohibition. We are opening more arak shops. One of the DMK MPs told that the previous ADMK government was responsible for more widows in Tamil Nadu because of arak shops and wine shops. Now you have doubled your wine shops and arak shops. Now the number of widows have reduced. So this is a gimmick. DMK's poll promises are never taken seriously. In 1967, they came to power promising 3 kilos of rice for 1 rupee. They could not even give 1 kilo of rice. People who know the history of DMK will know that empty promises are the hallmark of DMK poll promises.
You know, Prakash Swamy, since you mentioned 1967 election, Pulla Rao, I'll come to you, but let me frame it for you. 1967, because Prakash Swamy mentioned the election. 1967 is also the time that the DMK was burning, or the cadres at least were burning the copies of Constitution of India. In fact, in 1963, the Nehru government brought in or included secessionism as an anti-national act, partly, if not completely,
DMK was for
in response to activities of the DMK. Exactly. No, not in 1960s. There is a statement from A. Raja as late as 2013, where he is on record saying, please don't push us, otherwise we'll talk of Thani Nadu. So this is the Thani Nadu DNA really creeping in this manifesto, Pulla Rao.
No, I think the governor has made a spectacle of himself in the country. Every little issue he should have used his discretion. He should have used his job also. He goes to Supreme Court, has chastised him. He had to sign papers and send it back. Don't forget that I respect what Mr. Swamy has said, but the governor also is gone overboard. You don't pick fights with the state you govern. You try to find the common ground, middle ground. Do it behind curtains. There were other governors in Tamil Nadu who acted with very powerful chief ministers like Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi, and they held their place. You do it behind what the DMK is perhaps articulating is a governor should have some, maturity, a political background. You see, I tell you, there's a governor, this Kalraj Mishra in Rajasthan. He's a hardcore BJP. Yet he never had a day's problem with Gehlot. Not one day's problem in Madhya Pradesh, in Orissa. Why is that? Why is that? The governor's job itself is coming under criticism because of some governors. Why are the other governors getting along so well? Why is Kalraj Mishra there? And nobody has pointed a finger at him. He was quite close to Gehlot. Gehlot never said he's a bad man.
You sidestepped my question, actually. You sidestepped my question. For example, you say that there would be no uniform civil code. But in the last 10 years, at least 5 times, the Supreme Court of India, the same Supreme Court which you are quoting, has said that uniform civil code should be there. It's part of our directive principles of state policy. It's been delayed.
That was a decade. So
why not respect the Supreme Court on uniform civil code, Pulla Rao?
The Supreme Court is not static, Mr. Abhishek. That was an earlier opinion of that bench of the Supreme Court. The present bench,
Supreme Court has said that UCC should be there as late as just about 4 months back.
No, it is in a very different context. If you want to go there, it's a very different context. And when you pass a law, you should see the law holds. That you show, that you bring people together. You don't divide them. That's what should be done by the body politics. They don't do that. It's not a way, you want to do something, bring all the people together. You want to do CAA, welcome. But draft the law carefully. Don't misdraft it and then have all this nonsense going on. You should have had a good draftsman. You mentioned various communities. Why not have better draftsmen? Why not bring better laws? You bring bad laws and then you defend them. You bring badly framed laws, let me say. Badly framed laws. We need security in the country. Nobody denies that. But you can't frame laws in such a way that stick on to them. Naturally, people get upset. The DMK is venting their
So you partly agreed that if the framing is good, maybe the uniform civil code can be brought in, right?
You have to frame it well. You have to discuss with people. The farm laws might have had some good, but they were passed through without
Okay, so in that case, you are sort of yourself disagreeing with DMK. But
no.
Okay, fair enough. Chandan Gowda, it's good that a regional party has national aspirations. It's good. It's a welcome thing. It's a welcome thing that a Tamil Nadu party is trying to cultivate a national vision. It talks about restoring the status of state to Jammu and Kashmir. It's talking about making Puducherry a state. I don't know whether there is actually a demand on the ground, but the DMK manifesto promises that. But the point is that the promises that are there in terms of changing the Constitution of India, some of them require two-thirds majority. Some of them really change the Constitution as we know it. Now, hypothetically assume that in the coming elections, the BJP gets two-thirds majority. They are saying 370 for them and 400 for the NDA alliance. If they change the Constitution in the manner they want, because they have the mandate, would the DMK, or forget about the DMK, you as citizen of the country, Chandan Gowda, as an enlightened citizen of the country, respect the changes in the Constitution if they are made?
No, I mean, majoritarianism can never be accepted at face, as it is. That you have to look at what is being passed. I mean, it could be an excellent law, or it could be a draconian law. So, Abhishek, we can't, we'll have to look at it case by case. But just by the fact of having a majority in both the houses doesn't mean a free license to pass whatever you wish. And you're right, the DMK's manifesto should have probably had a tone of consultation, that they would like this to be discussed with everyone, etc., etc. But in this case, they're starting out as the weaker party, right? They're taking on this central government that's, saying it's already going to perform for the next 100 days in these ways, etc. So I don't know. It's a complex thing. I see what you're saying, that why are they being so definitive about what they will get through without suggesting a dialogue, etc. But it's a manifesto. And I think, they're saying where we stand on these matters, these are things we stand by. But no coalition can actually, just because of having a majority, can pass whatever it wants. It has to be a law that everyone thinks it has virtue, democratic virtues to them.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you so much, Chandan Gowda and Pulla Rao and Mr. Prakash Swamy for joining us. I would say on the issue of Office of the Governor, short of abolishing the Office of the Governor, maybe there is a point that the DMK is trying to make. We should have a debate on that. But then the soft separatism is something which needs to be taken head on. And that we'll continue to do even as we head into this election cycle. Thank you so much, friends, again for joining us. Short break. Trending burning question is on the other side.